everyone. Welcome to season 2 of the Broadway Bachelorette. I am your host, Hayley Podschun. I've got my co-host, Maisie, over here. And we are coming to you from quarantine, obviously. I am in Arizona. But I am so excited that we get to chat a little bit about all things Bachelor while we are stuck at home. My incredible guest for this first episode of season 2, I have known her since she was 15 years old when she made her Broadway debut in Spring Awakening. We also got to tour the country together in Wicked, and I made her watch The Bachelor with me weekly. She was also the standby for Elphaba in Wicked, Sandy Cheeks in SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway, and the most important, Tony nominee in Tootsie and dog mom to Dublin and Cosmo. Ladies and gentlemen, Lilli Cooper!
Surprise!
Hi! Welcome to the Broadway Bachelorette!
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, as is Cosmo. He's a huge Bachelor Nation fan.
Cosmo. So let's just get right to it because we have no time to waste. We have to recap an entire season. My first few questions, how long have you watched The Bachelor for?
I have watched The Bachelor on and off for probably like 8 years, but never religiously. And when I really got into it was when I started watching Bachelor in Paradise last year. So that just got me hooked.
So this week's episode of the greatest seasons ever, which, first of all, did you notice their hashtag?
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm so confused by that. Why? What does the GOAT stand for?
I think it stands for greatest of all time.
Oh, okay. That's terrible.
But that's not what this show is called. It's called Greatest Seasons Ever.
Greatest seasons ever. So why isn't it hashtag Bachelor GSE?
Gonna tell you. Had you watched Caitlin's season before?
No, but it's so funny because like I definitely recognized her and she's cute. She's also really cute as a blonde.
Oh, she's super cute. Did you know that she was on Broadway?
No. Stop.
She was in Home for the Holidays.
Wow, she really is a Broadway bachelorette.
What else about Caitlin were you going to say?
Well, I mean, we might get into this later, but like the fact that it was one of the most scandalous seasons ever, I kind of loved. I mean, she got pretty raunchy. So
we've got to talk about Chris Harrison's home setup. You would think that he would at least have some candles around. Why are there no candles?
Is that his book behind him?
Yes, it is.
Right. So he's just like plugging his own book.
Yes, of course. Let's actually get into the actual season that we're recapping. So how did you feel about the 2 bachelorettes and the guys having to choose?
Oh, yeah, that was weird, right? Was that the first time that they'd ever done that?
Yes.
I think the most awkward thing about it is when all the guys get out of the car and they're like, who do I hug first? A good choice after all, because she was entertaining and like she actually, kept it interesting, and the other girl seemed kind of basic.
I agree. I forgot of how many heavy hitters that Caitlin had. She had Tanner, who is now married to Jade. She had Ben Higgins, who was my most favorite. I auditioned for his season.
You did? Yeah. What was the audition like?
Oh, I didn't make it past the first round. And then she also had Jared, who married Ashley I, Ben Z, like all these really heavy hitters that are big people in Bachelor Nation. So lucky Caitlin, she had great guys.
What was the name of the guy that she ended up going with?
Sean B.
See, I was all about Sean the whole time. He's such a hottie. He was so genuine. He was so sweet.
Sean is the perfect package. When the show aired, he was from Connecticut. And I was like, is he still in Connecticut? Can I find him? And then he's in Nashville. So I was like, oh, okay.
It's also crazy how, like, when the relationships don't end up working out, they just find somebody else from Bachelor Nation. Like, these people just can't date normal people.
It's like dating on Broadway.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot that they went to Dublin, Ireland.
I know. I loved this season because I completely forgot about that. And Paul was like walking through the room and he's like, that's Dublin. And he'd like recognize the bars that they were going to and stuff. It was great.
I love it. I felt like this was the first time in a long time in Bachelor history that we had finally seen two people really fall in love like instantly. And I'm mostly talking about Caitlyn and Sean. It's just so obvious that they are supposed to be together. Did you feel that way?
100%. And then I think that's what pissed me off so much about her Nick around, because you could tell that that was just sort of this like visceral, physical, sexual thing. But with Sean, it was so real and it was so honest and emotional.
We have to talk about Nick.
Ugh, gross.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know about him, didn't know who he was. And then all of a sudden he shows up, right? And I'm just like, she can't be into this guy. Like, he's not cute. He just is this, he's kind of dorky. And the first impression that I got from him was they were like, he pulled her aside and he just sort of leaned back on the couch and like put his leg up.
Yeah, we talked a little bit. Oh. Just briefly.
Oh, he was like, here's my dick. Like, it was just like, here it is. And that was the first impression I got of him, and it was disgusting.
Can we talk about their date in Dublin?
It wasn't even that romantic, because it was just like they were drinking Guinness at a pub, and then they went back to her sort of like crappy hotel room. The way he walked out of the hotel room, like with his jacket over his shoulder, and he was just so proud of himself. But then she legitimately regretted it immediately.
Instantly, because she loves Sean.
Yes.
That walk of shame. I was like, dude, you could have put yourself together. You chose not to because you wanted to be caught by one of the guys in like the hallway. Do you agree that it was a good idea that Caitlyn told Sean about what happened?
100%. Because he would have found out later and he would have been furious and mortified. If I were in Sean's shoes and I didn't know and I continued a relationship with somebody, I think that would be a deal breaker for me.
I agree.
Because if you think about it, like, they're in a relationship, so it kind of feels like, I mean, you know, she's making out with other people, but it kind of feels like she cheated on him in a way.
Yes. I was proud of her that she did that. I was proud that Sean stood up and walked away and was like, I need to regroup and then I'll come back. I thought that was really grown up and awesome.
My heart was beating. I was scared he wasn't going to accept the rose.
No, I know. Freaking out the whole time. And I know the outcome.
Yeah, right.
So Caitlyn breaks up with Nick at the proposal. I personally forgot that she let him bring out the ring box.
I know. Oh, God. You could 100% tell in her face because she was given the sort of half fake smile. And I can't believe it wasn't until he reached for the ring that she was like, ugh. Oh, God, how embarrassing that must have been.
And then obviously it does end well, but it doesn't end well. She picks Sean. They're together for 3.5 years.
You know, the way that she described the breakup was interesting because she kind of was talking about like holding on to like the past and not trusting and stuff. And I wonder if her relationship with Nick like affected the long-term relationship with Sean.
Oh, I guarantee it. He has huge trust issues, which, God, if I were him, I would have trust issues too.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Can we get to the catch-ups? I enjoy seeing all the Bachelor alumni.
You know what I love about it the most? Seeing how they've aged.
Yes.
Because for the most part, they look pretty good, but some of them are like, ooh.
I think Ashley I has aged very well.
I also love how they refer to everybody as their first name and last initial. It's just, it's so ridiculous. Whenever they're in their testimonials talking about somebody romantically, they're like, oh, I just had a great date with Eric S. It feels so impersonal, you know, referring to somebody by their last initial.
Yeah, next date I go on, which will probably be in 2022, the way we're going. I will call, I'm going to text you after my date and I'm going to be like, oh, Parker L was everything I've ever. Speaking of glow, good morning, Glow.
No dates for Lilli.
He says no dates for Lilli. Love you.
We have the catch up with Caitlyn and Jason. I remember when I heard this news, I was shocked that they were together. How do you feel?
What was his story? Because I don't really know him very well.
Jason was on Becca Kufrin's season. Jason was well liked on his season, but I just found it very strange that they're together.
I didn't get a romantic vibe from them. Like, oh, and how awkward was it when she thought that he was going to propose?
Oh, those are my ear pods.
Oh my gosh.
That was terrifying to me. I was like, he's not doing this right now. Scene time?
Let's do it.
Would you care to be Chris or Britt?
I'll be Chris.
Lily's never read this. Here we go.
I'm going to put, okay. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm good, I think.
I'll get right into it. I counted the votes.
Okay.
The majority of the men have chosen one woman who they can hopefully see a future with. Britt. Unfortunately, you're not going to be the Bachelorette. I'm sorry.
Scene.
Oh my God, this is so awkward. This is exactly what they said.
Yes.
My favorite is hello, I'm good. I'm okay. And how awkward is the majority of the men have chosen one woman who they can hopefully see a future with.
And yeah, the fact that he leads off with such high hopes and she's like, I got it. I booked it. And then he's like, pulling the rug. You didn't get it.
That was intentional.
Oh my gosh, wait. We have not talked about the most important thing.
What?
The new Bachelor that they announced.
Oh yeah. Wait, it's the first Black Bachelor, isn't it?
Yes, Matt James. He is besties with Tyler, who was on Hannah B's season. I will say I am very much team Mike. I was really upset that they didn't choose Mike as the Bachelor because, one, we need more representation of colors on television and especially in this very, very white TV show. But also Mike is just like an incredible human being. And that smile, I'm sorry, he's beautiful. And then to choose Pilot Pete, I was just like, yeah, okay, we get it. But I'm so happy that this is finally happening.
I'm really, really happy. Like, it might be the first Bachelor season that I watch beginning to end.
Lily, thank you so much for being my guest today on season 2, episode 1 of the Broadway Bachelorette. Where can we find you on all socials?
You can find me on Instagram at Lil Coops, and you can find me on Twitter at Lily Cooper.
Perfect. And is there anything that you're doing right now that you would like to promote?
I'm just doing some master classes, and you can check them out. All the info is on my Instagram. And I'm really loving doing master classes. So.
And you guys, she's a Tony nominee, so you're really going to get your money's worth there. Thank you so much for being on. I love you dearly, and I miss you, and give your pups a big hug.
I will. I love you too. It's so good to see your face.
I know. Bye.
I love you. Bye.